Okay, so we are continuing this fun autumn fun or fall fun project. So I've told you I'd come back with my line drawing done. It's basically like a coloring book drawing. One thing I do want you to notice, there are a difference in line thicknesses on this project, okay? If you look at the pumpkin, I have a much thicker line around the sections of my pumpkin and around my stem. Then I have a medium-sized line that creates the rays on it, okay? So remember, thicker lines around your pumpkin, thicker lines around your rays that are coming out from the pumpkin, and then use your thin Sharpie to outline your drawing that's in between them, okay? Now, I'm going to show you how to use the markers on this. You can use watercolors and markers. I've got a cup of water, a piece of paper towel. You try to want to make sure your computer is not around the cup of water so that you don't knock water on it. I'm going to pull out the colors that I need. I'm going to show you how to do one section of the pumpkin, and then I'll do a little bit of one of the other sections just so you can see how I do things with it. I've got all three of my oranges for my pumpkin. I'm going to use this peach. This is really a sandy tan is what it's called. I'm going to use this for the lightest color on my pumpkin. And then I've got tiger orange, and then I have orange. Okay, so I'm just going to I'm going to determine where my shadows are, and I'm going to put that color down first. So I'm going to use tiger orange because it's the darkest, because if you look at these three together, you can see that dark, medium, light. So I'm going to go through and put shadows where I think there would be shadows. And I'm just going to shade it in lightly. Well, I'm not too worried about filling every little white spot, but I want you to do it neatly, like stay within the lines. Okay. So then I might take this and use the lightest one, which is the peach color, which really called sandy tan. And I'm going to like just kind of fill in right here. So I'm going to fill in some more, stay within the lines. Okay. And you only want to do one section at a time because you don't want your marker to dry all the way. Okay, so I'm going to take my medium orange, which is just plain old orange, because remember the other is tiger orange. And I'm just going to determine where there could be a little bit lighter shade. And I might put some around this little accent line that I have. All right, now I'm going to take water. And I'm going to take a paintbrush, and I'm going to make sure I have my paper towel. And I'm just going to blend this out. You want to keep the water within the line because it will bleed into the other side, so you got to be careful. Here's my cup of water. You can't really see what I'm doing. I'm just going to blend this. Like that, and I think I'll do another section of the pumpkin for you. So I'm going to use my darkest orange where I think there's going to be more darks. I'm trying to make this look like it's kind of rounded. You do not want your marker to get wet, so make sure you're not touching the wet part of what you're painting or drawing. Okay, so then I'm going to take my orange, my regular orange, notice I'm using the side of my point. Then I'm going to use my peach. You don't want to, when we do the water part, you want to make sure you don't put too much water on it because it will bleed into the other sections. Notice that when I'm coloring, I'm going with the curve of the pumpkin. I'm not like going sideways with it, and I'm not going straight up and down. I'm kind of curving with it. Okay, now I'm going to blend this. Get my paper towel ready. Don't put too much water on it. Go up. I'm going up and down, back and forth. And I'm just blending it together. Okay, I think I'll go. It's not taking very long to do the pumpkin, so I think I'll go ahead and just keep demonstrating. So I'm going to put my darker color right here, which is my tiger orange. I'm going to take my regular orange. I'm just putting a little bit here and there, and then I'm going to blend it out with the peach. Notice that I am curving with the pumpkin again. I'm not coloring straight sideways. I'm not going straight up and down. I'm curving with the pumpkin, the contour of the pumpkin. And I'm going to blend it now. Okay. So the orange part of the pumpkin is done. Now when it dries, I might go back in and color in some more, even put watercolor on top of it. Alright, now I'm going to do the brown part of the pumpkin, the stem. So I'm going to determine where I think it's going to be darker and put some brown on there. I might put just a touch up top. And then I think I might take the peach and put some of that in there. And then I'm going to blend it. Okay. So the pumpkin is done. Now I got to determine what I'm going to do next. So I'll do one ray for y'all. Let's see. I think I'll do the clouds and the moon sky. Alright. So I think what I'll do is just kind of go in and put some gray in here. Then in the background, I'm going to put some gray and blue. You're going to find out that the gray turns like a blue color when you put water on it. So I'm not filling it in completely because I'm going to go over it with the blue too. Alright, the first thing I'm going to color on this part, not color, blend on this part are the clouds, and I'm going to do that first, and then we'll blend the sky after that. Alright, I want to put this right here to make it look like a shadow, because the clouds are overlapping each other. Alright, let me get the blue. I'm going to use the just plain blue. Alright, so I'm going to keep coloring over it. You want to do this pretty quickly because you want it to stay wet. You know, I still have, well, sorry, I forgot I was videotaping. Okay, now I'm going to blend in this white, the gray right here. You don't want to put too much water. And after I get through doing that, then I'll wet the sky. Now I like to take some of the blue from the sky, like I put a little water on it, and then I dab it, and then I'm putting it on top of the gray, onto the clouds, just to blend it a little bit more and make it look like it's got shadows on it. Because remember, it's at night. Alright. I think I got that now. If you'll notice, I didn't use any watercolors on that. You can use watercolors. But if I like to use the markers like they're watercolors. Okay, so I think you get the idea. Color it first and then blend it with a little water, and be careful about how much water you put on it because it'll bleed into the other sections. So remember, yours is going to be big. The only reason why I did it on this is so that you will be able to see it under the camera. Okay, see you next video.